All right, welcome back to another reaction episode. This week, we're going to do another reaction to a CNBC Make It video. This time, their tried and true Millennial Money series. This one caught my eye because I saw some of the description, and it says that this woman, Christina, lives on $100,000 a year at the age of 24. And hint, she still lives with her parents. So this is why I'm interested. Let's see what I think.
For someone in their mid-20s who still lives at home with their parents, I thought it'd be really cool to represent that population and share my pros and cons of living at home and the pros and cons of the finance part of it as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have this stigma against living with their parents after school, after college for a couple of years. And even I was someone who was like that. But when you think about how much money you save, like you're straight out of school, you're probably still swimming in student debt. Your first job barely pays anything. And you're telling me that you want to go and rent your own place for what? Like even a couple $100 a month is a lot, right? And imagine getting your own apartment at like $2,000 a month. Like that's insane.
Hi, my name is Christina Trung. I'm 24 years old. I make around $100,000 per year and I live in Fairfax, Virginia.
So I don't even know where Fairfax, Virginia is, but I'm assuming it's like a medium cost of living area. And if that's so, then at 24, 100,000 is going to go a long way.
I'm a project manager for a digital consulting firm in the DC area. I also...
never mind. If she's saying the DC area, I'm mistaken. I think and I believe that the DC area housing is actually pretty expensive. So I take back what I said earlier if I was wrong.
I own a cupcake company called District Cupcake. We do event and office catering in the DC and Northern Virginia area. Thankfully, I've been very blessed to still have my job during the COVID pandemic. I think right now I'm working a little bit more because there's less of a line between work and life balance.
My parents also immigrated from Vietnam to the US. I was born here, but they did immigrate, so...
My dad came here first, but they actually met in English-speaking school, which is an immigrant love story, I guess. My dad promised that he would tutor my mom, which did not happen. He just wanted to go on a date with her.
Smooth moves, Dad. I'd probably do the same thing. That's smooth.
And the rest is history.
That's cute.
Being so young and seeing my parents struggle with their finances gave me the mindset of not wanting the same for myself or for my family. That lesson.
Yeah, part of my story is the same way, where we didn't grow up with a lot. So it's not that I ever grew up feeling like I didn't have everything, but looking back, I can see how much my parents provided for us, right? And how much they shielded us from it. So now that I'm, older, wiser, I want to be able to put myself and my family in a better position, right?
It has stuck with me growing up, and even in college. Anything that wasn't going towards student debt repayment or my apartment rent, I was saving up everything.
Oh, see, this is the key now. This is the key. So imagine after college, like I said, she probably doesn't have a job yet, unless this was the business she was building. Or let's say she started from nothing. Maybe she was able to build that business in like 1, 2, 3 years living at home because she worked a regular 9 to 5, saved all that money, but didn't have to pay rent. Like imagine if you had like an extra $1,000 a month, starting at like age 22. Is that when you graduate college? Yeah, 22. An extra $1,000 a month. Let this video play and let me do some math on this.
So I moved back in with my mom, dad, and sister because I wanted to, one, pay off my student loan debt and also be able to pay for my sister's college. And the rent in this area is not
Did she just say pay for her sister's college? Good for you, Christina. You are a good sister. You are a great sister.
Too favorable, so decided to stay here for a couple years and pay off all my debt and save up for my sister's college tuition.
It's a very noble deed. All right, budget time.
Unfortunately, my mom has been laid off due to coronavirus, and I'm paying a little bit more each month towards our mortgage and utilities because of that.
Oh, okay. She's also a good daughter who makes good money, who's giving back to her parents where she can. All right, good daughter. So, so Christina here is probably living at home, but helping to pay the bills, to pay the rent, to pay the mortgage. As a child of Asian immigrant parents, I think that's what we're supposed to do. That's how we give back. That's how our circle of life goes. So yeah, I'm really sympathizing with Christina's story here. I'm really jiving with it. So let's see how this is playing out.
Our family splits our household budget by mortgage, utilities, and any subscription services. So I pay for $400 to $500 a month on the mortgage, $100 for utilities, and $160 for all of our phone lines.
Oh, interesting. So she said 400 on rent. So she is splitting it with her parents and probably paying and making up the extra where she can. Yeah, but imagine still if you're able to save an extra like $600 a month in rent, right? By paying only 400 by living at home. Like, man, imagine if I only had to pay $400 a month in mortgage. Anyways, yeah, let's keep going.
I really enjoy credit card shopping. I like to look at the latest deals and points that I can get. I just got the Chase Preferred credit card, so they changed their welcome offer. If you spend $4,000 within the first 3 months, you get $750 worth of travel credit, which is awesome. I try to use credit cards as much as I can. I have a little system set up where I know which card to use when I grocery shop, which card I should use when I buy clothes or entertainment, and how to get the best cashback deal for that.
So she mentions that she loves credit card spending and points. I hope that she actually pays off her credit cards entirely every single month. And if she's not, I'd love to learn why, but maybe I just didn't read properly through the lines yet. But I trust her. I trust her. Oh,
I
this is
started
side
a
hustle.
cupcake company because my mom and my sister love baking, and we always would make cakes or cupcakes for family or family friends, and I really wanted to monetize it. So started this company officially the beginning of this year. We had a few pop-up shops. We work with our corporate clients to do event catering, and we do individual orders. I don't do any of the baking. I always ask to help out, but my mom and my sister tell me to stay as far away from the kitchen as possible. So I just do deliveries or fold boxes, all that boring stuff. In the beginning, before COVID,
This is a pretty cute story, right? Like I think everyone should have like a side hobby, a side project that they're passionate about, right? Something to throw their creative outlet at. So I think this is cute. But how does one start a cupcake company in 2020? How do you differentiate yourself among all the other companies out there that do this type of stuff? Let me know in the comments if you have a good answer to that.
we had a pretty consistent stream of sales because we were mainly targeting corporate clients who have reoccurring meetings or events.
Smart.
We were making around $500 a week from that.
Like a cupcake subscription business. I like it.
Unfortunately, because of COVID, our orders have fluctuated a bit. So some weeks we're making 10 cakes and other weeks we don't have any orders. Right now our finances are a little bit up and down, but I have high hopes for the company, and everything that we're making, we're reinvesting back into it. So me and my mom and my sister don't take any money from the company.
That's smart.
I was able to pay for college because my cousin actually is a super genius and got scholarships to all of the Ivy Leagues. And he had a Virginia 529 plan, which he actually gave to me, and that funded around half of my college tuition.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy, right? Like, think about that. I gotta look into that, but apparently her cousin was smart enough to get a full ride to Ivy League, which left his 529 up for grabs because 529s can only be used for education within your family. But I wonder if cousins count as family. I'm not sure, but maybe that's why she's paying it forward to helping her little sister go through college. So, man, this is a great story so far. Okay, 25K of loans.
I paid off my subsidized student loans first throughout my college years through various jobs and internship money, and I paid off all of my unsubsidized student loans the end of 2018. So right now I'm completely debt-free.
All right,
I
Christina.
decided to pay my sister's college tuition because my cousin paid for around half of mine. Because he gave me that gift of education, I really want to do the same for my sister and not have that hanging over her head or my parents' head.
Yeah, like education is probably the most important thing that you can experience in life. But it's crazy that that most important thing is the most expensive thing you'll have to spend your money on. Money you just don't have, right? So I'm like wondering if everybody had the access and ability to go to higher education without the looming burden of probably having to pay a student loan back like later, or like much cheaper schooling, I guess in general is what I'm trying to say. Like, how great would that be, right? Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay. Wow. Okay.
We were having trouble making our house payments and eventually had to decide whether or not to sell my mom's nail shop and foreclose our house.
Ooh, yeah.
The biggest lesson I've learned about money is to have an emergency fund saved
Good
up,
for you.
especially seeing everything happen with the pandemic and my mom losing her job. Having that emergency fund that I set up initially has really helped our family throughout this time. Something I wish I learned about money 10 years ago is the power of compound interest. That's something that I'm currently doing right now, but I wish I had started a little bit earlier.
If you've watched my channel before, I'm a huge fan of compound interest. I think like if I had like one of those cheerleading sticks with like the big thumb on it, it's a compound interest, right? Yeah. Go back on my channel and count how many times I've said compound interest in my videos and comment down below if you find that number. That'd be amazing. But yeah, the younger you are, the more powerful compound interest is, right? Because there's a exponential effect. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it early. Put aside money. Start using compound interest. Okay. I'm gonna pause on this ratio right here, right? So that 500. I'll start with the second line. So that 500 a month into a Roth IRA is that so she can get to the maximum of $6,000 to Roth IRA. Super smart. The $732 a month into her 401k, I'll multiply that by 12. That's like 8,500 a year. So that's not too bad. But I'm assuming she's trying to min-max getting her employer match and then putting the rest into other things. So I'm not going to falter too much. I think though, as a room for improvement, she can start adding more into her 401k, up to the 19,500 max, I think this year, and it's going up next year, I think. And eventually she'll be able to use the mega backdoor Roth 401k, which is a little more complicated, but lets you save a ton more. I'll have a link up here somewhere if you want to actually check out my video on that. And then $134 into her brokerage. I assume like Vanguard, Ameritrade, Webull, or Robinhood. I'm assuming one of those four.
I also have a Webull and
Oh,
Robinhood
very good.
account
Webull
where
and
I have
Robinhood.
a couple $100
See?
worth of stocks in there, but eventually my goal is to be.
By the way, if you're interested in at least 2 free stocks, maybe more, I think it's up to like 3, 4, or 5, or 6 sometimes with Webull. Check my link down below in the description. It really help out this channel. Yeah, and if you do sign up, deposits $100, you're guaranteed to get, I think, a handful of stocks, but all worth like decent amount of money. So I think you'll get some free stocks and start an account. So check out description down below.
More financially literate so I can invest a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Faith has played a big role in my life, especially growing up. I was not too spiritual, but since I've come to know the Word of God, I've been really involved in my church community, as well as attending church every Sunday, now virtually. But it's great to have that community of believers that I can depend on and call my friends.
Oh, good for her.
I donate around $600 to $700 a month to the Rover Foundation, which I found out throughout my church. The charity goes to different third world countries to provide education and spread the word of God to children in need.
She's doing the right things, putting her money where she believes can provide the most help. Yeah, and you gotta love the sappy background music, right?
And I'm very passionate about that. I feel very comfortable living in Fairfax with this salary, mainly because I'm living at home. But ultimately, when I do end up moving out, I hope to make a little bit more just to be able to put a down payment on a house and pay off my mortgage each month. So hopefully within the next year or so, I aim to make about 120 to 130K. It feels.
But yeah, with her making this much money at such a young age, if she's able to pretty much pay off her debt and pretty much save and invest pretty much the rest, then she's set, right? She's gonna be like a millionaire by the time she's like 35. Like easy.
It's really good to be able to help my parents out. I know that growing up, they have worked 12-hour days to be able to provide for me and my sister. So just to be able to do the same and not have them worry about how they're gonna pay off their mortgage or how they're gonna pay for my sister's tuition is a really great feeling for me, and it makes me feel like I'm working towards something more than just myself.
I like that. I like that a lot. Her story resonates a lot with some of the underlying first principles of why I have this channel in the first place. And I think a lot of it comes from my upbringing, the same way she said that our parents had to sacrifice a lot for us to be here and for all the great things I have today. So I want to be able to package everything that I've learned a lot myself over the years about how to go through that journey, how to go through that path and end up where I am today. Yeah, good for you, Christina. I applaud what you're pulling off. Stay on track. If you're watching this, Christina, my advice is to stay on track, continue to live well below your means, support your parents, support your family, love them the most, and whatever you have left over, save and invest the rest aggressively. You're young. You have time, and like compound interest, you've only seen it for a couple of years. Just wait another 5, 6, 7, 10 years. You'll see it firsthand and see how crazy it is, right? So yeah, that wraps up this episode. If you like this content, leave me a comment down below, and please give this video a like. And if you want to see more weekly content about how to get wiser with your money, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.